Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Take that hat off of there. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Floyd Mayweather is looking like Floyd made debtor. Man may be in debt out there in the UAE. But let's hold our horses, not take it to the stupid, and not take it to the assumption. No one really knows what's going on with Floyd. But it sounds like there are some people out there, Gervonta Davis being one of them, that could be a little closer to the source than you or myself. Now, word on the street is that Floyd may owe some money out there for an event that maybe he, had a change of mind about. Nonetheless, Gervonta Davis and Floyd, I kind of don't know how to take it, because we know whenever Gervonta has a fight coming up, he and Floyd Mayweather start poking each other in the eyeball. And then at the fight, you always see Floyd Mayweather there. He and Gervonta seem to be on, the same accord. We know Leonard Ellaby is always there. We definitely know he's pro-Tank. But it's just hard for me to believe that there may be some genuine dislike, disdain, beef, or I would say, what's that shit, man? I was about to say something just now, man. Turbulence in the relationship. But then, you go out here and you try to understand what's going on with Tank and Floyd, and then you realize that, for a large part of Tank's career, right, that he was a protege under Mayweather. We get that. But I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't believe that Tank and Floyd had gone separate ways. I still believe that Tank and Floyd were still working together, even though there were reports that came out that Tank has decided to go out and do his own thing. But I didn't really buy into that, because you just never know what's factual. However, when you go out here and dig a little deeper and you look at what's going on now, you start to get some consistent reports that Floyd and Gervonta Davis ended up in 2022 going separate ways. And what Gervonta Davis decided to do, with his own promotional company, is work directly under the guidance of Al Heyman. Now, you may say, okay, well, hey, Hood, why would you think Floyd would still have something to do with Gervonta Tank Davis? Because Floyd said, and Al Heyman, who doesn't say much, he concurred that Floyd and Al are pretty much the same. So the names are synonymous. I don't know if I quite believe that. But if they say that, there must be some truth. So although Tank is doing his own thing directly with Al Heyman, if Al Heyman and Floyd are one, and Floyd has some stake in PBC, then that means that Tank is still somewhat associated with Floyd. But the thing is this, right? There was all kind of talks about splits between those guys, and whether Tank really liked Floyd, whether Floyd liked Tank, whether Floyd was trying to steal Gervonta Davis' shine, Abdul Wahid's shine. Just call him Tank, right? But again, it goes back to saying how they always seem to be together. But I'm going to tell you this right now. This stuff going on with those guys online is a little bit crazy. Now, we look at the rumors about Tank being kicked out of a Mayweather's gym, getting ready for a Ryan Garcia fight. You look at the rumors about Tank kicking Floyd Mayweather's fighter, Kermel, off of his upcoming fight card with Frank Martin, and it's like, damn, when you start piecing it together, you can see that all these rumors have really started to snowball into something that is really getting our attention. And for me to do a video on it, it is what it is. But when Floyd comes out, now I'm going to read something that he has out here where let me find it. Where Floyd was saying, okay, right here. A lot of times what these fighters are looking at, they're looking at Floyd with the cars, they're looking at Floyd being flashy. Man, listen, I made so many sacrifices. Now, he's talking about Gervonta Davis here, but he's speaking in general. Y'all are looking at end results. And when I was champion having hundreds of millions in the bank, I was still on my grind in that gym. That's the truth. Floyd Mayweather, he's not lying. And he said, y'all are worried about your outfits, how your boots look, worried about the wrong things. A lot of you fighters live in check to check. And when Floyd says that, there's no one here who can argue about Floyd Mayweather. Damn eyelash get in my eye. About Floyd Mayweather and his discipline and what he brought to the sport of boxing, and how I would say how impressive his overall career was. So when Floyd speaks and he's talking about those things, I think he makes valid points. Now, some people would disagree, but I remember I'm a retired guy, and I know how it was for me when I had subordinates that would watch me and kind of, well, why does he get to do this? Why does he get to do that? And there were people that are working at my level that would sit some of them down and say, you're worrying about things that you have no control over. And you can't look at him and wonder why he can do certain things. Because we have a saying called rank has its privileges, right? You're worrying about his privileges and everything he's doing. You need to be looking at what he did to get there. Because you just see him now out here with all the flexibility in the world. Nobody telling him nothing. But understand the grind that he had to endure to get to this position and learn from that. So when I watch guys like Gervonta and Floyd and the little rift they were having, I can associate myself with that, because I'm like, okay, that's just like shit I went through in the military, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think Gervonta Davis and Floyd, I just think it's like a love-hate relationship. But Davis went on here talking about, I'm not going to say exactly what he's saying, but he says he can't leave Dubai. He's been taking money and not doing what they paid him to do. And then everybody, of course, went crazy and want to know what's going on with Floyd out there in Dubai. Is it true? Is it not? Okay. So what we did find out is it sounds like there is some truth to them holding Floyd over, right? Whether he owes money or not, there's some truth to him not being able to leave the country right now. But this is what I wanted to share with you guys, because when you listen to people talking about, and I make jokes about it, Floyd done made a mistake. You know, he better pay back that $10 million or lose 10 fingers and 10 toes, or lose a foot or lose something, right? And that's just all a joke. But the reality is this, maybe with the average Joe out there, years ago, right? Years ago, maybe if there was a debt, right? That's why I call him Floyd made debtor, because he's in debt, obviously, for something. Nothing that Floyd, I think, with writing a check can't fix, but it sounds like it's a bit more complex, something very cosmic, right? But the thing to understand is maybe years ago, with just the average Joe, if there was a serious debt, maybe they could face some kind of criminal penalty, jail time, something, right? But with Floyd Mayweather, I'm going to tell you right now, there's so many new laws out there since January 2020 in the UAE. And what it says here, I'm just going to show this to you. Okay? It says, due to local legislation, debtors in Dubai and other Emirates are shielded from legal action. Now, what this tells me is, you're talking about, the insolvency law and similar to bankruptcy laws, and when did the law come into effect? UAE debt collection rules are already enforced and came into force in 2020. But what it's saying here, right? The regulation is intended to safeguard, residents who either experience and, sounds like Floyd Mayweather fall into this category, who are either experiencing or foresee experiencing financial problems and cannot repay their obligations. Now, you can go out there and read up on all this yourself. But what I concluded is when you're talking about the UAE and when you got somebody who owes a debt, of course, Floyd's not looking to file bankruptcy, but there's maybe a debt out there. He's not going to jail or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying, man? What could happen here is, let me see, where did I just read that? I just read something I thought y'all would think was interesting. Okay, right here. Q5 says, the new legislation, when we're talking about Floyd going to jail, losing a foot, it says right here, if you can't pay your debts, do you go to jail? No. The new legislation, I need to read this one because I can't see that. Let me put my glasses on, man, because this shit's all blurry. Okay, here we go. The new legislation would safeguard the debtors from legal prosecution, decriminalize the financial responsibilities of bankrupt individuals, and allow them a chance to work, be productive, and provide for their family. For the first time, debtors will be granted up to 3 years to repay their debts. As a result, they'll be able to continue earning money, which will allow them to maintain their family and their creditors. Now, when you look at that, let me take off these bifocals and shit, because you could probably look. I could probably look right into your brain and shit. But when you understand that, again, Floyd's not a resident over there, but at the same time, who knows if Floyd went out there and gained some dual citizenship, or what the agreement was for him to come out there and to make the kind of money he was making for these exhibitions. We don't know. You understand? And so my thing is having a conversation. I'm telling you right now, I don't think I'm speaking facts as far as Floyd having dual citizenship. I'm just saying, you just don't know. But the bottom line is, when I read through this, it sounds to me like anyone who has debt out there in the UAE, that they're protected. And if there's an opportunity for them to repay it, like Floyd, he can easily repay it. It sounds like it's going to work itself out. But the fact remains, right, that he's over there, and they haven't let him write a check to just come on back to the States. So I don't know, because what I'm doing is trying to piecemeal little bits and tads of information that's floating around out on the internet to try to create something that to give me a little bit more clarity to say, okay, well, this is what's going on. I'm not getting that. Only thing I'm getting is that could be a money issue. Floyd out there, and they said, hey, this is the agreement. This is what we expect to get from you, and this is what we're going to give you in return. It sounds like he got what was coming in return, but they didn't get the end of the bargain. So now Floyd seems to be in a precarious position. Well, will he return to the States? I'm pretty sure. But I just wish there was more information on what exactly, I would say, the infraction is. What's the violation? What was there a law broken? You know, is there a repayment plan that they need in place, or are they like, hey, we know you got the money, we don't want your money. We want you to do what you said. And you know what it makes me think about? It makes me think about, now again, there may be no correlation. It makes me think about Roy Jones Jr. going over there to Russia, picking up the citizenship, becoming a dual citizen, because he was looking for the guys in Russia to pay off. Well, that was the agreement, to pay off a lot of his debt that he had in the States. But in return, there were certain things that he had to do for them, especially with the boxing program. So now you become indebted to that country because they chose to put money into you. So now certain things you have to give them. And it makes me wonder, what did Floyd get himself mixed up in? How can this man, a billionaire, who says he's making over $300 million a month, right? I'm not making that up. It's out there. Go look and see the shit he talks about. But he's making all this smart investments and all this other stuff he talks about. How is it that he can't leave the damn country? That's my question. I'm not here to make fun and joke. You know, I already did. Hey, they pay back the $10 million, lose 10 toes, lose 10 fingers. Well, but it makes me wonder if they're like, nah, we're not letting you off that easy. You're not just gonna pay the money back. You know, we're gonna squeeze your eyeballs out here. You know, we're gonna take everything out of you we can, mister, as far as your name and what you can bring to the table with boxing and experience. And we're gonna suck out your eyeballs because you chose to come out here and squeeze us and get that money and not uphold your end of the agreement. That's the only thing I think it could be. That it's got to be so much more to it. But that being said, man, one thing I know is for sure is out there based on those laws. When it comes to Floyd, I don't think he's going to be permitted once they resolve whatever this issue is. I don't think he's going to really be permitted to come out there and for them to work with him and offer him money for certain events. I think once they resolve this, they'll probably cut ties with him. So it could be a bridge burnt. But again, it's just a conversation, which is what we do on this channel. Some speculation, some assumptions, prediction, and then the conversation, right? But that being said, keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I think there's a lot more that's going on here with Floyd. Floyd made debtor because my boy's in debt. obviously for something over there. And I think they're going to take a pound of flesh out of his ass before they let him come back to the States. He won't say what it is. They may not discuss it. But you see the way Floyd's moving. If Floyd started looking over his shoulder, like when Margarito stepped to him and asked him for a fight, then Margarito left the room and Floyd was still looking over his shoulder to see where Margarito was. If Floyd come back to the States doing all that shit, looking over his shoulder, goddamn, the secret society's on my ass, then you know that whatever got started over there, it's not over. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. Hope Mayweather got his stuff together, man. I mean, hope he didn't go out there and get mixed up with the wrong shit. Even if it was something legal that he was working, I just hope he didn't go out there and think because he's money made all day, the money team, 50-0, minor setback for a major comeback. I made smart investments. Look. I said it before. Nobody would hear all them little sound bites no more, man. Hope my man get home safe. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.